Hey, the solar eclipse is fast approaching. We're going to show you the proper glasses to protect your eyes and why you should watch out for problems on the roads and at the airport. 940,000 people have an average of $1,000 in a tax refund from 2020 that they haven't claimed yet, and the deadline is approaching. She thought she was buying her dream home, but she was scammed out of $100,000 in what turned out to be a nightmare. And this mom reported finding glass in her son's PlayDoh that cut him. What you need to know when buying new toys. And welcome to Dollars and Cents. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Heather Sullivan. Now, you definitely want to stay tuned with us for those stories and much more, because you could end the show with $1,000 in unclaimed money. We've got the best reporting for you from Fox stations across the country, all to help you save the most money and get ahead. So let's get started. The solar eclipse is now a little over a week away. Day will turn to night as the moon orbits between the Earth and the sun on April 8th. So to safely see this rare event, you're going to need eclipse glasses to filter out the sun's rays. But regular sunglasses really won't cut it. They only block 50% of the sun's rays. You want to look for ISO certified glasses, and it should actually have the letters ISO on them. Now, solar eclipse glasses should block more than 99% of the sun's light, but you do want to be careful because there are a lot of fakes out there. Some might really be a surprise. There are so-called NASA approved eclipse glasses, but those are a myth. They're not actually approved. So if you are looking to get a pair, the American Astronomical Society has a list of reputable vendors on their website, and you can also get free ones, but that are approved, by the way, from Warby Parker, My Eye Doctor locations, and Texas A&M libraries. Or you can make a pinhole projection. It's an easy do-it-yourself project. Optometrists say never use your smartphone or your camera's viewfinder to look at the eclipse because that can damage your eyes. We have more tips on how to do all this safely on fox26houston.com. And drivers are being warned to be careful, maybe even stay off the roads during the solar eclipse. There was a 31% increase in fatal accidents when the skies darkened during the 2017 total eclipse. And the Federal Aviation Administration is warning travelers that there could be flight delays. Aircraft may have to delay landing or even be rerouted based on the path of the eclipse. And be prepared for heavy traffic near the line of totality as well. So people will be coming from all over the country to catch the total solar eclipse. And Fox's Peyton Yeager shows us how Texas towns along the path of total darkness are preparing for the big event.
In less than 3 weeks, Ennis, Texas will be the center of attention for April 8th's highly anticipated total solar eclipse. The Ellis County city lies in the direct path of totality, meaning 4 minutes and 23 seconds of darkness. Ennis ISD already canceled classes that day. Hotels have been booked full for months, and merchandise is flying off the shelves.
We're being told to expect anywhere from 50,000 to 220,000 people.
A watch party hosted by the city of Ennis will be in the historic downtown district. In addition to an increased police presence, private security was also hired. People will flock to city parks, and April is already Ennis's busiest month, known for its famous Bluebonnet Trail.
We have additional ambulance service coming in. We have a helicopter that will be at our hospital, bringing in additional resources to the hospital.
Thank you for having me.
Tuesday afternoon, Michaela Sandifer, emergency management coordinator for Ellis County, provided an eclipse preps report at the commissioner's court meeting. There have been countless meetings, from first responders to TxDOT to the National Weather Service.
Just that we're all on the same page so that when some kind of disaster happens, if it happens, we're already prepared.
A state of emergency in Ellis County hasn't been declared yet, but as we get closer to April 8th, Sandifer says it's not out of the question. The county will also monitor the mass number of people the weekend prior and adjust if needed. Back in Ennis, officials want to ensure traffic control and safety on Eclipse Day. Officials have been in contact with other U.S. cities who hosted the 2017 eclipse, like Sweetwater, Tennessee, for any advice.
They have told us that we have done everything right and we are completely prepared, but we will still be completely overwhelmed by people on April 8th.
You can say that again. So while we're on the topic of travel, a warning before you go anywhere this spring or summer. Hotels are adding hidden costs to make up for the crackdown on junk fees. An article on GoBankingRates.com uncovers 9 hidden hotel costs you want to watch out for and ways to save money despite them. So number 1, meals in hotel restaurants can really add up fast. So consider booking somewhere where they have meal packages or check restaurants nearby to save money. Resort fees. Ask what are those fees and compare your resort fees and amenities to really be sure you get your money's worth. Internet access. Not all hotels give you free Wi-Fi. On-site parking. Some may charge you $25 or more per night. Late checkout fees. In-room beverage fees, yeah, that's a fee now. Safe and refrigerator fees, room service charges, and sometimes tips for housekeepers are already added in, so be sure that you check your bill before you tip. Now, 940,000 people have money just sitting there waiting for them to claim it. The IRS says that they never collected their tax refunds for the 2020 tax year. The refunds total about $1 billion, which is an average of $930 per person. The deadline to file your return to collect this money is May 17th, so don't dilly-dally. And also don't forget that you can file your tax return for free this year, no matter how much money you've earned. As long as you have a simple return, you can file for free on the IRS's new direct file.
We know that for middle class and working class Americans, they do the right thing and they file their taxes on an annual basis, but on average that costs them more than $200 and takes them more than 13 hours. Today I've had a chance to meet with Texans who have used direct file, and they've said it's of course for free, which is a benefit to them, and for many of them it's taken them less than an hour to use the program. So we want this to be a way to save time and money for the American people.
Yeah, you just go to irs.gov. You'll see it right there. Texas is one of 12 states where direct file is available this year. Eligibility is limited mainly to people with simple returns, like I mentioned, like if you have a single W-2 and all of your income was earned in Texas. So if your return is more complicated than that, you won't be eligible to use it. Well, the CEO behind a financial app for kids says the process of saving for college should start by the time children get into kindergarten, and they should be involved in the process. An app called Busy Kid lets kids put money that they earn from chores or gifts onto debit cards, and it gives them advice on how to save for their future education. The CEO says the key to teaching savings is consistency, and that teaching the real costs of college and life is the key to success and excess. We all know that, right? All right, well, 2 separate victims were just scammed out of a total of $200,000 in a real estate ripoff that you need to watch out for. Gwinnett County Police in Atlanta are looking for a suspect that they say led the victims to what they thought they were buying property. Fox's Christopher King has the alarming story.
Robbed of the money that I could have used for something better.
Luz Holsworth and her husband worked hard to save up to buy a home.
We had it on our savings, and now we don't have any savings.
The couple back in January saw a listing for a house in Ellenwood on Facebook Marketplace.
This person that went by the name of Noah Roberts.
Holsworth says it seemed like the real deal.
It seemed legit.
The guy gave them a code to unlock the house.
I saw the house.
You walked inside the house?
I walked inside and inspected the house.
Did you ever have any reason to believe this was a scam?
No, because he made us do a lot of paperwork.
The couple signed the contract and transferred a $2,500 deposit. The rest a short time later.
The $98K that was left, we did that a day before we were due to go downtown Atlanta and do the closing.
They went to the law office the man on the other end claimed to represent to close on the house.
And they were like, no, we don't have anyone working by that name here.
The couple had been scammed.
Over $100K.
Gwinnett County Police say a crook fleeced at least $200,000 from 2 different sets of victims.
They realized it was a scam and all that money's gone.
Investigators pinpointed this man.
That's Jalen Anderson. Last known resided in Fairburn. He's 23 years old. The person that submitted the post made themselves appear that they represented a law group in Atlanta. It looked legitimate. So much so, they were able to scam the two victims.
But it was all a ruse.
There's no way of getting my money back.
That is scary, so be very careful if you're in the housing market. And are rising insurance rates putting the squeeze on your budget? Bankrate reports that auto insurance rates are up 26% just since last year. One thing that is driving up the cost is a report that says that some drivers say their insurance rates went up after the manufacturers of their smart cars, including General Motors, Honda, and others, sent data about their driving behavior to their insurers. Auto insurance rates have jumped 26% just over last year, according to Bankrate.
It has, between the house and automobiles and all that, yeah. Insurance is a big issue.
We might have to go back to horse and buggy, to the olden days, because that was cheap.
The average cost is $2,500 a year for full coverage, $741 for minimum. So what's driving it up? David Sampson with American Property Casualty Insurance Association says it's due to inflation and the higher cost of parts and repairs.
Auto labor repair costs have increased 20% over the last 5 years. Auto parts costs have increased 40% over the last 5 years.
Not to mention more distracted driving, up 23% since 2020, and more reckless driving.
Even as DUIs have decreased and social awareness has increased on that's socially unacceptable. Prescription drugs, recreational marijuana, all of those factors have led to significant increases in auto accident frequency and severity.
And drivers of smart cars need to be aware their rates could be impacted by the way they drive. A recent New York Times report found automakers are sharing consumer driving behavior with insurance companies, like whether you speed.
What people have to understand about today's cars is that they're kind of like rolling computers. They're gathering a lot of data. They have a lot of intelligence inside of them. They're often connected to the cell network, or, when you're at home, they might be connected to Wi-Fi. They're collecting data. And then the question is, did you sign off and say that the data you collect could be uploaded and sold to a third party?
Companies should be a little bit more transparent about how they're handling people's data and stuff, because at the end of the day, we don't really know what they're doing with it.
So true. Well, it is not illegal for a car maker to sell your data if you opted in when you bought it, but you can go back to that automaker and opt out. Other ways to cut down your insurance premiums are to improve your credit score, to shop around, compare offers from different companies, bundle with your home or renter's insurance, ask for mileage-based plans if you really don't drive that much, or consider trading in your vehicle for a lower cost model. You can also ask to raise your deductibles. Well, the cost to buy and sell a home is expected to drop. The National Association of Realtors announced that it would pay a $418 million to settle lawsuits accusing it of conspiring to keep realtor commissions high. Last November, a federal jury ruled the NAR conspired with two brokerages to keep agent commissions high. Now, it's not admitting to any fault, but the proposed settlement will change the way that buyers and sellers pay agents, and it could lower the cost of homes.
We own, and yes, right now it's like, wow, yeah, things are really expensive. So it's like, I don't think we'll be selling or buying anytime soon.
It's been a tough few years in the real estate market. So were you looking to buy a new house?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Had to put that off maybe?
No, we actually put in an offer yesterday.
But that landscape is changing. The National Association of Realtors says agent fees have always been negotiable, but its proposed settlement to lawsuits alleging a fee conspiracy will end the practice of the home seller automatically paying both the seller and buyer's agent fees, usually totaling 6%. And resulting competition among the realtors is expected to drive down commissions.
We think that on average, the commissions will come down from the existing 5 to 6% area, really depends on where you live, pretty much, to 3 to 4% area.
On an average $417,000 home, a seller would pay about $25,000 in fees. Now that could be cut in half or more.
That buyer agent commission will be taken out of the housing price, lowering the price houses in general.
Home buyers will have to sign a contract to pay a buyer's agent an agreed upon fee, which competition could also drive down or create more room for discount brokerages or flat fees. But some realtors fear that some home buyers may skip hiring a buyer's agent to save money and lose out on their expertise.
It's not just the price or just the closing date. We're negotiating multiple things, from the repairs, any appraisal issues that come up, any challenges with lenders. We are constantly in communication as the buyer's agent.
And some realtors say home sellers may want to continue to offer to pay the buyer's agent fee to attract more buyers.
This will help ensure that you have the most number of people looking at your home, that you're not pricing anybody out of the market.
Now, a judge still has to sign off on the proposed settlement, and this is interesting. Real estate commissions are actually higher in the U.S. than most other countries. In the U.K., Israel, and Singapore, for example, realtors charge 1% to 2%. In the U.K., they only have one agent and a lawyer, but overall, the cost is typically much lower. Now, from the fake grass in a basket to plastic eggs and candy wrappers, Easter is a wonderful holiday, but it can bring a lot of waste. So Fox's Jonathan Hunt gives us a look at ways to celebrate Easter that are more environmentally friendly.
Before you head down the rabbit hole of Easter preparations, you may want to consider the planet. 78% of consumers say a sustainable lifestyle is important to them, according to a recent study by Nielsen IQ.
So as far as holidays go, it is not difficult at all to make them more sustainable.
The party goddess, Marley Major, says there are several ways to make Easter more earth-friendly, starting with Easter baskets. Instead of getting a new one, try repurposing an old basket or putting the goodies in a canvas bag or glass vase. And Major recommends avoiding one of the most wasteful Easter traditions, plastic Easter grass.
Most of us have shredders, and why not just shred all the junk paper or newspaper stuff that we have lying around and fill the baskets with that?
The spring celebration wouldn't be the same without colourful eggs. Major suggests skipping the dye kits and instead turning to natural ingredients to add colour to your holiday.
You can grind up dried mushrooms. You can dye things with beets. And then, of course, you have to set them with white vinegar. But that can be really fun for kids to make their own dyes and have different colors.
And before you sit down to enjoy your Easter meal, Major says you can take steps to reduce waste by composting scraps as you cook and food left on plates once everyone is full, and avoiding disposable single-use plastics.
Try to limit the amount of, plastic disposable plates or forks or cups, or try not to have a lot of platters that they're going to get delivered in the disposable stuff and thrown away. Maybe have more of a potluck Easter.
One of the hallmarks of Easter is, of course, the egg hunt, which typically involves plastic eggs. Major suggests keeping them to reuse year after year. In Los Angeles, Jonathan Hunt, Fox News.
Some good ideas there. Well, a Florida mom says that her 3-year-old son was diving into a new ball of Play-Doh when he was cut by a piece of broken glass in it. The manufacturer says they're looking into it. But as Fox's Jessica Bruno reports, we all need to be careful when opening new products.
No Play-Doh, Julian. No Play-Doh.
This is Julian.
I know, Play-Doh, buddy.
He's 3 years old.
No. No.
And loves Play-Doh.
A bassoon or a tuba? What do you want? Tuba? Oh, no.
But Julian's mom, Phoebe Shield-Nutsu, is now cautious when giving Julian a new tub of Play-Doh after buying some earlier this month.
I gave it to him, the yellow one. So I open it, and then I let him play there by the living room. The next thing I hear, him crying, and I was so worried about it because what happened? I'm like, I ran towards the living room.
She caught the aftermath on camera.
Found inside the Play-Doh, right there. Show mommy your hands.
Julian was bleeding.
Where is it? It's right here. Hold on. Show to mommy.
And Phoebe discovered this piece of glass inside the dough. In a statement sent, a representative from the company, Hasbro, said, quote, "At Hasbro, the well-being of our customers is paramount, and we take all product safety concerns seriously. As soon as we were made aware of this concern, we encouraged the consumer to return the Play-Doh product to Hasbro so that our quality assurance team could evaluate it.
In any manufacturing process, there are a number of steps. Sometimes people drop a jar and there's a piece of glass, or, when they're cleaning up, dust can, get in the air around where people are manufacturing.
Business analyst Carl Gould says these kinds of incidents happen, and that's why he advises consumers to be extra vigilant when giving any new toy or product to a young child.
Open the box fully, inspect it fully to make sure that prior to the end user using it, they have you've been the final safety check.
In Port St. Lucie, Jessica Bruno.
All right, well, get ready for some fast food on the fly. DoorDash and a drone company called Wing are offering a new delivery option for Wendy's customers. Drones will drop off your burgers, fries, and Frosties in 30 minutes or less. Testing is underway at a Wendy's in Virginia, but DoorDash plans to expand it to other cities by year's end. And are wallets going by the wayside? Younger generations are largely using virtual payment systems such as Apple Pay and PayPal that are on their phones. And a new report says they don't think wallets are cool. Nearly 80% of Gen Z says they prefer digital wallets on their phones. And while most baby boomers say they prefer to keep reaching for their wallet. It's a good question. I'm still a wallet person. All right, just in time for summer, the crop top is back, but not just for women. Men are embracing the crop top too. Many celebrities and online creators are spreading the trend, along with some stores and designers. The internet is half for the idea and half against it. Some guys are actually creating their own crop tops or just cutting off an old shirt, while others are buying their tops straight from the store. I have no idea if that means that it will cost half as much as a whole shirt, but probably not. Also, over the weekend, students in the Washington, D.C. area showed off their fashion skills in the Blossom Kicks for Kids event. This year's theme was Let's Spring Together. Cute shoes. Just pair them with a crop top and you're ready to go. All right, that's our show. Thanks so much for joining us. Hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, and X. It's all Heather Sullivan, Fox 26. You'll find more ways to save on Sullivan Smart Cents on fox26houston.com. And we'll see you next time on Dollars and Cents.